Seems that I'm getting good at doing this every second day, but it probably won't be every second day because I'll probably do it tomorrow because it'll be easy to do it tomorrow. But yeah, back in Matthew 20. Labourers in the vineyard. For the kingdom of heaven is like the master of a house, who went out early in the morning to hire labourers for his vineyard. After agreeing with the labourers for a denarius a day, he set them into his vineyard. And going out after a third of an hour, he saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said to them, You go into the vineyard too, and whatever is right I will give you. So they went, going out again about the 6th hour and the 9th hour, and he did the 6th hour and the 9th hour he did the same. And about the 11th hour went out and found others, saying to them, Why do you stand here idle all day? And they say to him, Because no one has hired us. And he said to them, You can go into the vineyard too. And when evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, Call the labourers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last up to the first. And when those hired in the 11th hour came and each received a denarius, now those who hired first came thought they would receive more, but each of them also received a denarius. On receiving it, they grumbled at the master of the house, saying, These last worked only 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us who have borne the burden of the day and the scorching heat. But he replied to one of them, Friend, I am doing you no wrong. Did you not agree to a denarius? Take what belongs to you and go. I choose to give to these last workers I give to you. Am I not allowed to do what I choose with what belongs to me? Or do you begrudge my generosity? So will the last be first and the first last. Basically, he's saying all will receive the same gift, no matter how long for which you've sought friendship with the Lord. As long as you've sought friendship before the end of your life, you will be with him. You choose relationship with him, you will be with him. If you do not choose relationship with him, you will not. It's as simple as that. There's no better or worse. The weirdest thing about this is my mum read this out the first time, pastor, whatever, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. Even though she was reading it out, I heard a denarius per hour instead of a denarius per day. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. He agreed to pay them by the hour because I was like, jobs are paid by the hour. That makes sense. That was not what was happening here. It was a denarius denarius per day. Like that was the payment. It's like, yeah, they read it. I'm like, clarify that. I was like, oh, I completely misunderstood what you were saying. It wasn't even what I was reading. It was like, I misunderstood the assignment. I misunderstood what was being said. That was awkward. That was in front of a lot of people and it felt awkward. Anyway, that's probably has no relevance to the text whatsoever, but it is interesting, that idea that it's not that he's being dishonest to the first, but that he's being generous to the last. Anyway, Jesus foretells his death a third time. It's like, how many times did he do it? I think it's more than 3. And as Jesus was going up to Jerusalem, he took the 12 disciples aside, and on the way he said to them, See, we are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be delivered over to the chief priests and scribes, and they will condemn him to death, and deliver him over to the Gentiles to be mocked and flogged and crucified, and he will be raised on the 3rd day. Fairly simple enough. A mother's request. Then a mother of the sons of Zebedee came up to him with her sons, and kneeling before him, she asked him for something. And he said to her, What do you want? And she said to him, Say that these 2 sons of mine are to sit, one at your right hand and one at your left hand in your kingdom. And Jesus answered, You do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink the cup that I am to drink? And they said, We are able. And he said, You will drink my cup to sit at my right hand, and at my left is not mine to grant, but it is for those whom has been prepared. For whom it has been prepared by my Father. And then when the 10 heard it, they were indignant at the 2 brothers. But Jesus called them and said, You know the rules of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their great ones exercise authority over them. It shall be not be so among you. But whoever will be great among you must be your servant, and whoever will be the first among you must be your slave. And even as the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Basically, another reference to like the first will be last, the last will be first. Servant leadership. To put your life on the line, sacrifice everything to gain everything in heaven. Not on earth. You must sacrifice everything on earth to gain everything in heaven. He says, you do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink from the cup I am to drink? And they said, we are able. And the thing is, they say we are able. And it's like, I wonder if they ever do. I wonder if they are able. Or I wonder if they actually understood what cup he talks about. The fact that he shall die for his convictions. I hope they do. Not like in a calmer way, but like in the sense that all the other apostles did. Many of the other apostles did. I don't know if all of them ended up dying, but a lot of them did. Most of them did, and all of them ended up in jail. That is the cup they must drink. We are so lucky to not have to drink that cup anymore. But if they could do that much, how can we deny doing so little? Anyway, Jesus heals 2 blind men. And as they went out of Jericho, a great crowd followed him. And behold, there were 2 blind men sitting by the roadside. And when they heard that Jesus was passing by, they cried out, Lord, have mercy on us, Son of David. The crowd rebuked them, telling them to be silent. But they cried out all the more, Lord, have mercy on us, Son of David. And stopping, Jesus called to them and said, What do you want me to do for you? And they said to him, Lord, let our eyes be opened. And Jesus, in pity, touched their eyes, and immediately they recovered their sight and followed him. Yet another miracle that happens. Jesus performs many miracles. So yeah, that was Matthew 20. A lot of different metaphors and parables for the last shall be first and the first shall be last. Servant leadership, sacrifice, the cup of burden. It's weird. It says Jesus predicts his thing for a 3rd time, and it's like I think they only count the explicit ones because the cup from which he drinks, it's like that was a prediction of his death. Not necessarily his resurrection though, I suppose, but a prediction of his death to come. He predicts it often. And yet, when it happens, they are still surprised. I suppose it is the way of the world to ignore which we do not like. We need to get better at that. Just because we don't like something doesn't mean we can ignore it. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, doesn't mean it isn't going to happen. We need to get better at confronting problems, face on, head first. Because that's the only way things are going to get better. And even if we can't change it or fix it, we need to confront it, face on, and recognize and realize something, because even that act is powerful in its own, recognizing that something has happened and it is wrong. Anyway, this has been a bit of a somber one, and I have no idea why. Just is. Bye!